So in honor of every good fight that we look forward to getting cancelled nowadays, that has inspired me to make this video, which is 10 UFC cancellations that would have fed us for generations. Yeah, that shit rhymed. I know, that shit rhymes. What am I, Dr. Zeus? Alright, but we'll start off with the first one and a little mini game for you to follow along with. Try and guess the cancellation before I bring it up. Obviously, we've got Dustin Poirier here, scrolling down to find the cancellation. Do you guys know it? Yes, once upon a time, he was scheduled to fight Nate Diaz in 2018. Boy, that would have been good. Coming off the Eddie Alvarez KO, Gaethje, so it was pretty prime time. Like, he went on to fight Max Holloway for the interim champ, but before that, he almost was about to fight Nate Diaz. Could you imagine how cool that would have been? Dustin Poirier and Nate Diaz, they've kind of had a bit of beef for like years type shit. But I think this would have been a great fight. McGregor, Dustin Poirier, we would have really got like that kind of trilogy thing. It just would have been great. But you might have thought I was going to do Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev, because that also would have been a great fight that would have fed generations, which leads me to Khamzat Chimaev, because yes, that's right, that would have fed generations, but no, that's just a little snippet. You scroll down here, yes, this one right here. Oh my God, could you imagine? We would have got Chimaev versus Paulo Costa in a fight. Do you remember the build-up? They went into the Apex and they were talking shit. Gourmet Chechen. Costa just called him out again. Like, these guys got beef for days. And then I think that's why Usman took on the short notice fight. I don't really remember specifically, but I think that's why Usman stepped in on short notice. It was supposed to be Chimaev Costa, which would have gone off. And maybe Costa could have beaten him. Like, Costa is a great matchup against Chimaev. Everyone thinks so. Instead, Usman comes in on a week's notice and really pushes Chimaev to the test and pushes him late rounds. Round 3, tough, close fight. What would have Paulo Costa done? That would have been such a banger. Chimaev versus Costa, which leads me to my next one. Not that it leads into it, and there's Costa as well. God, he looks strong in jacket. But yeah, does he have any cancellations? Do you remember Ikram? That would have been a cool one. And Jared Cannonier was supposed to fight as well, which I never knew was a thing. But I do remember the memes of the Ikram Paulo Costa fight when that was going to happen. But that's not on the list. What is on the list, though, is our Frenchman Ciryl Gane. Obviously, he's about to fight Tom Aspinall. No, that hasn't got cancelled yet, thank God. But knowing our luck, it probably will. But who did he almost fight long ago that... God, he's in good shape. Look at him. Look how brown he is. But yeah, who would he almost have fought ages ago that was almost sick? There's Ante Deliha, Shamil Abdurakhimov. But no, scroll one further. Sergey Pavlovich. Yeah, that's right, Ciryl Gane, back in 2020 when he was 3-0 in the UFC, almost got matched up against Sergey. Could you imagine that banger? Like, maybe back in the day we wouldn't have known the banger, but obviously hindsight 2020, what a sick fight that we missed out on all those years ago. Oh damn, he almost fought Aspinall on the come up too. You know what, that does ring a bell. He almost got laid out by Aspinall 3 years before he really did get laid out by him. But Ciryl Gane versus Pavlovich is the fight that I wanted to really make a note of, because what a banger that would have been. That would have fed generations. And that would have been a great fight. I wonder who would have won. I don't know. I would have probably taken Gane. Not that I would have known what was going on back then, but like now, looking back, maybe Gane can do it. But I don't know. It's a weird fight. I actually hope we get that one day. Pavlovich versus Gane. That would be cool. That would be cool. Another one that would be cool, Jack Della. How did he end up on the list? You know he had to. And obviously this one rings a bell because you'll remember when he was supposed to fight Leon Edwards, right? Well, no, that's not the fight that I'm talking about, because that got cancelled and then he fought Bilal. And the Bilal fight did feed generations. But no, if you remember, he was almost going to fight this welterweight up-and-comer once upon a time, which was Sean Brady. We almost got JDM versus Sean Brady on the come-up before the Basil Hafez fight. If you remember, there he is there. And then he went on to fight Gastelum, which I don't actually remember too well. But yeah, Sean Brady versus Jack Della Maddalena almost happened. I wonder what would have happened. Would have been a tough matchup, but going off their performances against Bilal, you'd have to imagine Jack would have dealt with him back then. Because Sean's stand-up's pretty shitty. I would have gone Jack, but JDM versus Sean Brady is the pick, not JDM versus Leon. I don't care about that fight. Sean ended up squashing him anyways. And then we got Bilal versus Jack. So that was a great fight. Another one of my favorite fighters has made it onto the list. And you know this fight. If you know this fight, you know. Like, if you know ball, you know that this fight almost happened once upon a time between two undefeated monsters on the come-up. Not that Evloev is much of a monster. Yes, I've given it away. But you scroll down here, Movsar Evloev, after the Ryan Hall fight. Could you imagine? That might be the coolest one on the list of, like, two worlds colliding, two undefeated prospects, and, like, knowing what eventually happened. Damn, he was supposed to fight Barboza? That would have been a slaughter. Thank God. Thank God he didn't. Poor Edson. But yeah, I didn't know about that. But I did know about the Evloev fight, which was such a banger. And people still talk about, man, could you imagine? They fought each other. Evloev's got a lot of cancellations as well. Nate Landwehr actually would have been a beast fight. Aljo, Mitchell. Oh yeah, he was supposed to fight Bryce Mitchell. I was ready for that. That was cool. But that's a bit disappointing we didn't get that one. Pico. Fucking Evloev just pulls out of every second fight. It seems cancel, fight. Cancel, fight, cancel, fight, cancel. Oh, honestly, take a hike, Evloev, you fucking dork. But now that we're on the Ilia Topuria, that's not what I meant to say. Now that we're on the Topuria brothers, let me go into another Topuria brother, which is Aleksandre Topuria. This one will be easy to guess. He only was meant to have one fight. And I know this one's a bit of a niche pick. It's like a bit subtle, but man, Cody Haddon versus Topuria would have been so sick. Just would have been so cool to see what would have happened. Two beasts, very young. I was about to say young in their prime, but they're not even, because the young prospects, not in their prime yet. But it would have been a sick fight to have done. Cody Haddon versus Aleksandre Topuria, I wanted to put on the list. Shout out my Aussie brother, Cody Haddon. Where are you, dude? We need you badly. We need you badly. Another guy that we need. All right, well, there he is. There he is, Cody Haddon. Yep, Cody, we miss you. Joshua Van. Obviously, this one was in the thumbnail. Now, this one actually might be the coolest one. I take back what I said about Ilia. Because the fact that looking at what these guys have done now and how good they are, the fact that we almost got Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira in 2024, right before he fought Charles Johnson, like, that would have been such a weird fight. I don't know who would have won. It really doesn't make sense. I would have gone Van. I would have gone Van for sure, just trust him so much more. But that is a bad matchup for him, and that is such a banger as well. Seems like Van's had a lot of cancellations though. Lucas Rocha, Sumadwerji, Tagir. Oh, I remember the Tagir fight. That would have been cool. I don't remember the Sumadwerji one. But I remember when Tagir got cancelled. That would have been cool. Did Charles take it on short notice? No, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, that would have been a great fight. And that's a banger. That would have fed generations. 100% that would have. A UFC cancellation. That would have fed a bit of generation. But Tatsuro Taira, yep. Yeah, he was the pick. And let me see if Tim Elliott, David Dvorak, Clayton Rodriguez. All right, nothing special. Nothing special. I'm learning here too. All right, guys. Carlos Candelaria, forget it. All right, and going on to the next one, Conor McGregor. Now, this begins a lightweight run. I think we've got 4 fights left. It's lightweight time, guys. Sorry. McGregor, obviously, it's Chandler. Well, I don't have to tell you that. I know that one's not too insane that we needed it, but any McGregor fight would have fed us for generations. So don't be stupid that you didn't want this fight that much. God, I would have loved a McGregor comeback. I would have loved it. So yeah, don't act like he doesn't deserve to be on the list. Any McGregor fight would fucking feed generations. Match him up against Clay Guida and take my money, please. I miss him. He just brought so much life. But that's okay. That's okay. He would have fought Michael Chandler, which would have been a banger that would have fed us. I don't think Chandler had any ones that would have fed generations. No, he's stayed pretty true. Company man. Another one, Islam Makhachev. You know where this is going. You know where this is going. Now, I know they've already fought, so it's not that it would have fed generations too much, but oh yeah, and that's right. The Oliveira one got cancelled. Hence why Volk got head kicked. That would have fed Volk for generations. That not getting cancelled at least. But Sarukian, Makhachev, not the strongest on the list, but I had to put it on anyways because, yeah, Sarukian versus Makhachev, we almost had it. Instead, we got Moicano Makhachev, which sucked dick. So yeah, that had to go on the list. And he was supposed to fight Moicano as well, which is weird. Don't remember that at all. But another one, Dan Hooker. Now this one I had to put on the list as well. Didn't even think about it for a second until he hit me in the face and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, him versus Justin Gaethje has to go on the list. That would have been amazing. Was it for the BMF belt? I don't remember. No, it wasn't, was it? But it would have been sick. It felt like it was anyways. That's how cool of a fight it was. He was also supposed to fight Bobby Green, which I don't remember at all. But yeah, that would have been a great fight. Very great fight. Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, you have to have that on the list. BMF fight, but it wasn't. Why do I keep saying that? But it might as well have been. Might as well have been. Justin Gaethje, yeah. And last but not least, I'm pretty sure this is the last one on the list. It's Khabib Nurmagomedov. I bet you can't guess this one. Let me scroll. Now, this one's got so much lore. It's probably, if you could put a gun to someone's head, which fight would you watch? They might say this one. And that, of course, is, you can see it, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Max Holloway. Oh, rug pull, got ya. No, but seriously, like, I know maybe hindsight hero, but if I go back in time, would I want to watch Tony Ferguson, who I know is kind of shit? Like, yeah, the argument at the time was he's got such a good style, shit. He's got such a good style to beat Khabib. But, like, now looking back, we almost got the featherweight champ versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. As you can see here, Khabib versus Max Holloway. Let me go back to the Khabib one. Tony, Max in there. That's the one I want to put on the list. Fuck Tony Ferguson versus Max Holloway. What about... Fuck Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. What about Khabib versus Max Holloway? The featherweight champ against lightweight champ? You know? Like, am I crazy for putting that on the list instead of Tony? Maybe you could say I'm trying to engagement bait, rage bait you guys, but I'm not really. Because Khabib versus Max is a better fight, in my opinion. And this is definitely hindsight talking. At the time, you would have begged for Tony versus Khabib. But now, looking back, he's over there fighting Salt Pappy, went on like an 8-fight loss streak. Max still doing the damn thing, laying out Gaethje and shit. Like, this could have been a banger. And that would have been a great fight. And I think I'll end it there. 10 cancellations. That would have... I still can't get over how that rhymes. Like, that shit rhymes. What am I, Dr. Zeus? Did I say that at the start? I don't know. But yeah, I am Dr. Zeus. But you're welcome for that video as well. 10 cancellations that would have fed us for generations. UFC cancellations, that is, of course. Because fuck any other organization out there. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Oh, fuck.